You will never find.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh, you'll be wanting me to kill. I, the all that is troll.
Who are you wanting me to kill? You're the blacksmith, come on! You make stuff to murder people with! Really?
Beware.
My dear, you're a tank. You really expect me to be winning? Oh, so the old tank fight. Holy shit, that guy is tanky. scream! What were you doing? No. That sounds pretty useful. Is that a guy with 12k DPS? Jesus. What? Why? That's Murphy's Law for you. I would hope so. You have a 14k, a 13k, and a 12k, a couple 11ks. Like, what? Really? That's ridiculous. Oh, 114k and 108k? What? How much health do you have? Okay, so you can survive it.
I am superior!
But I liked it. shit. Oh, what? Don't you get a stacking debuff? Why are you still doing fine? Yeah, it's like around 100. Because you could just simply press a button and swap it. You know, I still say Final Fantasy XIV races look more interesting. I know, it really is not. Oh my god. Amount of health you lost, holy shit. Are both tanks torrents? Are both? Okay. Is there any classes torrents can't be besides like very obvious ones like moss?
First console activated. Re-establishing energy matrix.
Well, congratulations on completing the raid.
You're looking to be smashed.
What? 25 person. That's ridiculous. Who is he? How'd you take more than the other guy? Oh, okay. Damage prevented? What was it? Oh yeah. Apparently, Demon Hunters is all about dodging. What's enemy damage taken? No. Right. Okay.
Talok survived the Amot strike? We cannot let this monstrosity stand between
What the
us
fuck?
and Gahum.
Oh, that's fine. Why is it bad? Oh. That's kind of weird. The caps rage is what I was laughing about. Like, do you have something bound to caps lock?
Host detected. Infection commencing. Initiating blood dispersal of target host.
Oh, the tank stuff. Holy crap, the guy's already half dead. I kind of figured. It's a nice thematic touch, but why?
Initiating blood dispersal of target host. Activating cudgel retreat. Fluid evacuation.
Yeah, I was Trevor. Okay. I didn't hear it because I don't have your server. That would make sense, actually. Yeah. Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, I don't have notifications for it like you do. I blinked and half of its health disappeared. If that was normal? Oh. Wow. I swear to God, I just saw someone fall off the ledge. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I love how little damage you do.
Hero levels depleted. Shutting down.
Okay. Yeah, that was Trevor. Can you not go back and loot them? got something. It was blue. And maybe not important. How do you jump?
I'm out of range.
Opening decontamination chamber.
What was that voice?
I am the matron of tenacity, herald of endless research. Designation, Mother.
Ah, she must be the reason the corruption has not completely overtaken this facility.
Alert. Contaminated life forms detected. Incinerators engaged.
The doors are locked. Shut down that machine before we are reduced to ash.
Oh, they won't. I can't wait to see everyone die.
Virulent strain detected. Neutralized. Storage readiness. Section protocol initiated.
Why would you have to go through? No. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, someone died.
Resistance to extreme heat.
Can you run back in there? Oh, is the other tank still up there? Yeah.
2, 1. Containment chamber. 3, 2, 1. Testing bacterial resistance to extreme heat. Dissection protocol initiated. 3, 2, 1. Testing bacterial resistance to extreme heat.
Oh my god. Holy shit, the hell. I see the laser curve. You just didn't give two shits. Like, from what I've heard, the fire ones are really like just there to boost your damage.
Restored. Levels return to secure thresholds. Facility systems organized. Proceed with caution.
What is this place?
You remember to loot the boss?
Oh dear. This research facility was designed to contain and study
Oh.
the entity known as Gahoon.
You have been keeping that abomination alive? Why? And have you found the answer?
No one gives a shit about the story, apparently.
We do not have that kind of time. The whole must be stopped now. We have a plan. Activate the consoles and put an end to the Who's play once and for all.
Yeah. That default. does seem really cramped though. That sounds annoying. Someone died. Oh dear. Just got like a res token or something? How does that work? Yeah. That sounds really nice for a tank though. Guy just sits down. Why are you doing that? Well, why are you standing around? So you have increased damage the entire time you have the buff? Or you do increase damage?
You will be eradicated.
Oh boy. Okay, is it the void pinnacle thing that's active? You want to live forever? Yes. There's no mechanics whatsoever. Your head of like the entire reason we brought another person. Oh, you got hit by the damage that Why did half the raid just die?
3, 2, 1.
Not a single worthy trait among you.
How much health did you have left? So why did half the raid just die? Questioning reality. No one seems to be really that mad though, which is hilarious. Like, what did the guy post? The... Yeah. All the skeletons on the floor. That's a really nice touch. Still a mistake though. Yeah. A guy that looks like a really weird crustacean is not good superior. I like how he yells in his language and then whispers in English. Like, what does haste do besides speed of attacks? That's kind of ridiculous. I like how one of the guys who got feared, when he stopped being feared, just started shooting his bow again. He didn't even move back. He's taking damage though.
First console activated. Re-establishing energy matrix.
Nice job. Now do it with an actual raid. Yeah. Excuse me? Oh, I mean, you're not wrong. Watch you get all of them. Oh, that axe is is an infested courthouse. That's pretty cool. Oh boy.
Is very, very simple. So let's just kick straight into it. Now, to start off, tanks, you need to make sure that you're stood on top of each other at all times. The reason for this is that the boss will cast his terrible thrash ability after 4 standard melee attacks. This deals a large burst of physical damage to the target closest to the current tank, and this damage is so high it will easily one-shot a non-tank player. The off-tank just needs to make sure they have some form of active mitigation up every single time the ability comes in. We recommend that you mark both tanks in your raid, just so it's very easy to see where they're stood at all times. Now, as for your healers throughout the fight, the tanks of course are going to be taking a shit ton of damage, but also the raid will. The boss applies an 18-second dot to a large amount of players. Now initially this dot doesn't really do much at all and can be pretty much ignored. However, when it expires, it morphs into a harder hitting 6-second dot, which requires you to spot heal those players over the course of its duration. Players on low health that receive the dot should really consider using a cooldown, especially there's other forms of damage about to come in. Now throughout the fight, on a timer, garbage will flow out of 2 of the 6 waste disposal units around the encounter space. You need to make sure that you keep away from these chutes, as otherwise you'll be pushed back and also just receive additional dots. A corruption corpse core ad will spawn from each of these 2 randomly selected locations. Now these ads don't attack the raid directly, and instead just cast enticing essence, which on heroic heals them for a small amount over time. At the end of this cast, the boss will run over towards them and eat them, healing a large amount of health and also gaining some energy. Really, your raid should aim to kill both of these ads before their casts go through, and to help achieve this you can tank the boss next to the ads to allow DPS to cleave between them. However, currently the Corruption Corpse Core ads maybe have too much health. We're not sure if this is intended or not, but it's very difficult in heroic mode right now to kill both of them at the exact same time. If this is also the case for you, we'd recommend that you just focus on killing one of them and completely ignore the other. You can use this excess time just to slam damage on the boss, which pretty much just mitigates the amount of healing that he's going to receive by eating the ad anyway.
The boss gains energy passively over time. At 100% energy, he will face a random player and cast Rotting Regurgitation. This is a long-range breath which deals a huge burst of damage, knocks back and applies a shit ton of horrible debuffs to anyone who stands within it. You need to make sure that you are close to the boss as he's about to reach 100% energy, as being closer allows you to sidestep the ability more easily. On heroic, the boss will cast Shockwave Stomp on a timer. This just deals a burst of damage and knocks back the entire raid. You need to do your best to place yourself up against the wall just to minimize the distance that you're knocked back. The tanks should attempt to stand close to one another throughout this entire process, because if the main tank returns to the boss too quickly without the other tank nearby, a random nearby melee DPS might get one shot by the terrible Thrash. Now when the boss reaches 50% health, he will go into a frenzy, increasing his damage done by 25%, whilst increasing the damage he takes by 50%. We really recommend that you bloodlust at this point, just to try and end the fight as soon as possible. Tanks and healers should also have cooldowns available during this time, just to make sure they can survive this increased incoming damage. But as long as you have enough damage and healing, the boss should really fall over in very few pulls.
Before you go, make sure you check out our full featured guide.
The player's name is literally the Gallery of Failures. Holy shit.
Hello and welcome to the Fat Boss Guide to Vectis in Uldir.
This 2-phase encounter has very few mechanics and is rather simplistic. However, things will go wrong for you fast if you go in blind, so it's important that you're prepared for this fight before you decide to pull it. With that in mind, let's jump straight in.
So this fight forces you to manage the Omega Vector debuff from the pool. This debuff is applied to 3 random players and it just deals ticking damage. When it expires, it jumps to the nearest player and leaves Lingering Infection, a new permanent stackable debuff on the previous host that increases the nature damage they take. This is important and you'll understand why in a moment. Both the Omega Vector and Lingering Infection debuffs cannot be removed, so you're forced to deal with them throughout the entire fight. Your goal is just to keep the Lingering Infection stacks spread as evenly as possible across the entire raid. Now, although this isn't the best way, it certainly is the most simple. Just spread close to the boss and let the debuff randomly jump around your raid. Boss mods will mark the players with the Omega Vector. All they need to do is watch out for other marks and make sure they are not too close to each other to prevent multiple debuffs from jumping to the same player. If a player does get more than a single debuff, you'll need to spot heal them heavily and it is very difficult to get them to spread out again. We used this strategy in both of our heroic kills in the first reset and it worked just fine. Now the stacking nature damage increase gained after the Omega Vector jumps from you is problematic because of Contagion. This cast deals a burst of nature damage to the entire raid and it is unavoidable. To start off with, it's not too much of an issue, but as the raid begins to gain more and more stacks, the damage begins to become more of a problem for your healers. You want to make sure you spot heal players with large stacks before the cast finishes just to make sure they survive the hit. And you want to save healing cooldowns towards the end of the fight where the stacks on the raid are at their greatest. The only other thing to watch out for is the Gestate cast. This hits a random player, stunning them and causing them to deal damage around them for 5 seconds. Players around the person that's hit by this needs to make sure they move from that player just to reduce incoming damage. During this time, a Plague Amalgam will also spawn from that stunned player. This ad needs to be picked up by one of the tanks and brought underneath the boss. It is vital that all DPS swap to this ad immediately when it spawns and kill it off. This is because the ad is casting immunosuppression, which applies a large healing absorption shield to the entire raid, and if too many of these casts go off, your healers will very quickly fall behind. Last to mention in this phase is that tanks, you will have to manage your evolving affliction stacks.
Jesus.
This is a stacking dot that the boss applies with his melee attacks. You want to tank swap every 2 stacks or so. Note that this debuff deals nature damage, and as a result you should really avoid gaining the Omega Vector debuff at all times.
Now when Vectus gains full energy, he'll become untargetable and will transition into phase 2. Whilst he's in this new pull form, he'll rush into areas of the room and begin to shoot lines from himself towards random players. Getting hit by one of these lines will deal damage and also apply lingering stacks. These lines are very easy to predict as long as you keep a close eye on the boss, but if you are struggling you can just simply stand far away, giving you more time to react. During this time you'll also notice that plague bombs will spawn all around the room. These circles need to be soaked by a single player to prevent a Plague Amalgam ad from spawning. Just make sure your raid is spread throughout the entirety of this phase, just so everyone is soaked within 8 seconds. Whilst soaking these circles and dodging the lines, you'll also still have to deal with the Omega Vector debuffs from the previous phase. Because you can't keep as a group anymore, instead just have 2 players deal with each debuff whilst keeping far away from the boss so they don't need to worry about the lines. When the boss reappears and phase 1 begins again, players with those debuffs can then just jump them back to the raid and ignore gaining them again until the rest of the raid is caught up with them. But from this point onwards, the fight simply repeats until you either kill him or die from having too many stacks on the raid.
Now if you'd like to see this guide in a written format of all the Hello and welcome to the Fat Boss Guide to Zul in all deer.
So this 2-phase encounter is actually quite short, averaging around 5 minutes for a kill. You'll mainly be focusing on ad control during phase 1, before having to burn the boss down as soon as possible during phase 2. So without further ado, let's kick straight into it.
Now Zul himself doesn't need to be actively tanked during phase 1, and as a result he can't actually be positioned easily. Instead he will just be spam casting Shadow Barrage onto random players, dealing a bit of damage and applying a dot. More impactfully, he will be applying Dark Revelation debuffs to 2 players on a timer. This is only put on 1 player on normal. This 10-second debuff explodes upon expiration, dealing a huge burst of damage to the entire group that does drop off with distance. The 2 players should move to opposite edges of the room before they expire, whilst the raid huddles around the middle of the room with the boss and his ads. The healers need to make sure that everyone is healthy before this damage comes in, as it can very easily finish people off. When the debuffs expire, some minion of Zul ads will spawn nearby. These ads fixate people and will fear anyone they come into contact with. The ads can be killed off via damage, but more notably, you can just purge them. Assign some purges to each debuff to remove the ads before they have a chance to cause a problem, with Master Spells and Arcane Torrents being the strongest. Now on Heroic, Zul will occasionally spawn a Pool of Darkness, which pulses out damage onto the entire raid if it isn't soaked. Have a single range player stand within the pool just to prevent this damage, but just make sure to keep that player topped up as they will be taking quite a lot of ticking damage themselves. So that's all that Zul does himself. Let's look at his more dangerous ads. He'll be spawning these ads throughout phase 1 with his Call of Blood cast. DPS should focus these ads over the boss at all times. However, they should generally be grouped up underneath the boss just to allow DPS to cleave damage onto Zul, only moving ads away from him when mechanics dictate. Now there are 3 different types of ads in this fight. You've got Crushers, Blood Hexers and Krogs. Crushers have a frontal swipe that needs to be faced away from the raid. They also have an energy bar which, when filled, causes the Crusher to cast Thrumming Pulse, which buffs all ads and Zul within 30 yards with a 50% damage increase for 40 seconds. If you have good enough damage, you can actually kill the Crusher before he gets to cast this, but if you do know it's going to go through, make sure the tank drags the Crusher over 30 yards away from the rest of the pack before the cast, and then after the cast has gone off, you can just bring him back for cleave damage. Tanks, these Crushers spawn at the very edge of the encounter space, just make sure you pick them up quickly. Moving on to the Blood Hexers, they just spam cast Bloodshot, dealing damage to the player with the lowest health in the raid. Just make sure you interrupt this as much as possible. When the Blood Hexer gets full energy, it will spawn an animated Ica ad, which will move towards Zul. When it reaches him, it will heal Zul for the health the ad has remaining. Tanks should move the Blood Hexer 10 to 15 yards away from Zul if this is due to be cast, just to prevent the ad from immediately hitting the boss. DPS should nuke this Ica down as soon as possible whilst using crowd control to keep it at bay, most notably stuns, knockbacks and grips. 2 Hexers will spawn in when Zul casts Call of Blood, each of them in different corners of the encounter space. On Heroic, the Blood Hexers have an aura which causes them to heal all nearby enemies, including Zul, for 10% max HP every 2 seconds. This aura is only ever activated when 2 or more Blood Hexers are within 20 yards of each other. This forces the raid to keep the 2 Hexers apart at all times. We recommend that you hard CC one Hexer whilst you kill the other. Once it has died, quickly drag in and kill the CC'd Hexer before a new set spawns in. The third type of ad, the Krogs, have a passive that heals them for 200% of the damage they deal. However, this isn't a big issue as these Krogs don't really do a lot of damage. However, the Krogs do need to be killed before they reach 100% energy, otherwise they will kill themselves, exploding and applying a really nasty dot to the entire raid. That being said, you do have a fair amount of time to defeat these doggies before this happens, but it is still important that DPS focus them over damaging the boss. And once again, that goes for the rest of the ads as well. Focus the Blood Hexers, then the Crushers, then the doggies, then the boss. Now, as you can notice, this entirety of Phase 1 is very much to do with where ads are spawning in just so you can deal with them as soon as possible. We highly recommend that you mark every single edge and corner of the encounter space with a raid marker just to make communication amongst your guild that much easier.
Now, when you get Zul to 40% health, Phase 2 will begin. Ideally, you'll want to do this transition with no ads up, or at least very few of them. As he transitions, he will knock back every single player in the raid, so it is important that you're not stood too close to the edge, otherwise you will be knocked off. At the same time, he will apply dots to the entire raid. The amount of stacks that this dot has is completely based on how long it took you to do Phase 1. The longer you took, the more stacks you gain. Now from this point onwards, Zul will no longer spawn any ads, he won't apply Dark Revelation to anyone, or spam cast his Shadow Barrage, and instead will melee hit, so he does need to be tanked, but he will continue to cast his Pool of Darkness, and this is actually the first point on normal mode where you'll actually see it. Now, whilst tanking Zul, it's very important that you face him away from the rest of the raid, because he'll cast Rupturing Blood, which is a frontal cleave, which applies a debuff. This debuff deals incredibly high ticking damage, and when it does eventually expire on you, it will leave a large patch of goo on the ground. Tanks will want to swap around 4 stacks of this ability, and before it does expire on you, you need to make sure that you're far away from the rest of the raid to place the pool out of harm's way. After the first pool is spawned, the tanks can just keep going back to the middle of that pool every single time to go drop off their debuff, just to save room for the rest of the raid. Now, positioning is key in this phase because of the Death Wish ability. 2 players will be debuffed with this and will run towards the closest edge of the encounter space and then jump off. When they jump off, or when the ability is dispelled, they would trigger a Dark Revelation explosion, although it deals reduced damage in this phase. Now, as the debuff forces players to run towards the nearest edge, the raid needs to position so the edge closest to them doesn't lead them through Zul and his cleave, or through a patch of goo. The boss should be positioned slightly off-center, whilst the rest of the raid stacks directly behind him. This way, anyone who gets the debuff will run away from Zul, meaning they won't get cleaved, and also away from the puddles, as the tanks have put them in a good place. As soon as players are close to the edge, they should be dispelled, and then the purgers in your raid should go and remove the minion of Zul ads before they reach the raid. But that's all it is to this phase. It's definitely the hardest part of the encounter. The sheer amount of incoming damage is just a little bit crazy. People are just going to be dropping all over the place. We really recommend just saving all healing cooldowns for this last point of the fight. Ideally also saving DPS cooldowns if you can, and just lust to nuke the living shit out of the boss, hopefully killing him before he kills you.
Now, if you want any clear reminders,
Death Wish is so rude. Oh, they run to the edge of the platform and jump. Oh my god. No, 50. Yep. It's 20, I think, or 30. It was 30, actually. Dude. Say again? Huh.
Have you come to trade?
Nice.
Zandala will endure. Greetings. Dichuka Zandala.
Yeah, let me back away, turn around and run. Yeah, you'll probably make it.
Come to trade.
Hello, man.
What?
Saja be watching. Pluck their wings. Leave them broken.
No, I did not. Oh, they'll leave them broken. So what's it? One of the reason why that thing may be worth 5 million is because of how fucking huge it is. It's smooth rock. You haven't sold them yet?
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least 2 centuries.
So you want to know who you give it to? Let me activate. Let's see. Oh, you're clicking on them instead of your Hearthstone. I literally just clicked on the thing and it went away. So give me a second.
What you want, man?
I specialize in fine imports.
Yeah.
Mind you step around me.
Okay. Like someone's like, go to this guide, and I'm having a hard time reading it.
Time to smash
This is
it!
a waste of time.
What you doing here? What you got?
Do you know who I am?
Who you be? Zandala forever.
It is about the journey, not the destination.
Huh. So, Raquel the Wretched Innkeeper. Or the Wretched. Whatever it is. It's like Zocalo. At the Zocalo is where I'm reading. The Zocalo, Z-O-C-A-L-O. Whatever. It should be in the city. Okay, is there like a map of this place or something? Look, I don't need a good one. What? Let's see. Z. Oh shit! Sorry. Oh, let's see what it is. ZOCALO. It's like way in the corner somewhere. Oh. And you didn't even get to go to it. Yeah, so the... Yeah, okay, fine. What trans-dimensional bird whistle? No. Then I'm looking up items in World of Warcraft. Here, There's a bird or something that standing on your head or some shit. What is it? Imagine a gnome tank. Can gnomes even be tanks? Sounds kind of hilarious.
What is this creature? It appears as if it were once a Loa.
Observation accurate. This facility has run numerous experiments on Loa to research solutions for old god corruption. Tests focused on the ability of Gahun's corruption to reanimate expired tissue. Results were inconclusive, and specimens were destroyed.
You seem to have missed one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A blood plague on these things seems kind of cruel.
I'm out of range.
Wait, how do you blood plague the next person? The only thing I remember Grip for is that one boss where it would like pull you halfway across the map. Who's pulling threat? Where are they bringing him? What? Oh. Oh, 2 people are dead and you're waiting for them to come back? Are 2 people offline?
Beware.
it's gonna get annoying. The attack thing. Yeah.
Four, three, two, one.
Beware.
Yeah, like holy shit, it's already like 75% dead. Yeah, I hope he keeps his damage up because I want to go to sleep.
I can't attack that.
Really? What the fuck is a mythic? You just saw that. Like a bull trying to walk through a doorway. That's just a floating ball of blood. I think that won't even work next time. Yeah. That's rude. Just a slow moving skull hit the fucking thing. Is that really a voice line? More like one or two. Without a face. That's a lot. Man, it would be 2 million, but It's very helpful. Jesus Christ, your action bar is stupid. Death and Decay, Blood Plague, Death and Decay, Blood Plague. Like, do healers have a multi-person heal at all? Wait, there's non-Fortnite based heals? Yeah. There's no panic button heal.
Consume husks!
We're thinking the guy would do shadow damage though. Or this guy wouldn't be doing nature damage, he'd be doing shadow, with the Death Knight stuff being shadow damage.
2, 1.
Just standing there in the corner.
2, 1. Three, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
1. What cooldown?
Right for infection.
Looks like someone wasn't standing and stuff. Oh, the infestation. You got him? That's like 5 people. Oh, did you get anything good out of it? Oh, the tank is now the leader of the group. Got like half the raid was dead there. Yeah. They're doing a very good job of that. Oh, the other tank died. That'll explain a bit. Holy shit.
Beware. Beware.
Talking about your enemies there? No.
Beware.
To be fair, there's a lot of circles right there.
Beware.
So is yours! Holy fuck, yeah. Why is it killing so much?
Beware. Beware.
It's probably on themselves because they're the only people they can trust. That's a lot of free lives. The other one died or what? Okay, I'm actually gonna go to sleep because I'm fucking tired, so. Yeah. It's like I'm having issues like standing up, bro. I'll see you later. It was fun watching.
That I may feed. It's too far away.
Nigga, what? Watching somebody review Forza. What are you doing? A raid and WoW. That's pretty nerdy, but okay. How are you still up? How are you still up? Alright, do you want me to tell you the time or you just don't want to know? Okay, I'm not gonna tell you the time. Make this last forever. Shit's coming up. Help! For 2 hours? Look at all these nerds. There's 2 over here. I don't know. Get him! Just go at him. How are you not the most powerful thing right now? We're 83 and where? What is it where you are? Yeah. 670. World of Warcraft. Why not? Pretty fun. What?
Beware.
No. He didn't talk.
Beware.
He's gotten poppy for status. He did. Like, I hate being that guy again, talking smack about my friend. But he kind of went poppy fur. I don't know if it's talking smack, but it's kind of the truth. Yeah, I don't know. He got a fursuit at first, and I was like, okay. But then he got like second and third fursuit, and then after posting a bunch of pictures on Telegram, I think it kind of went to his head. Yeah. Which, whatever. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't understand it. I guess it's kind of like what one of my idols said is, money doesn't really change people, it just shows who you really were. Like if you turn into a dick because of money, you were always a dick, but you were just hiding it. It was deep in you. Oh damn. I don't understand that. Like, I know when I get a nice sports car, or if I get a cool fursuit, I want to enjoy it with my friends. No, and then new friends come, especially, dude, okay, I swear to God, I said this to myself, and I'm only saying it to you because we're talking about this right now. If I get a really good fursuit, and then Rescue starts talking to me again, I'll be like, so where were you? Like, for years. Ugh. Oh, hey! You're cool now. Oh, dude, don't get fucked up. Concentrate. What the hell is that? What is that thing with a pan on its head? Jesus. Jesus.
Arise, my chosen. Blood.
Oh, jeez. What? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's not. I'm not the only one over here with that same problem. Yeah. Yep. Think so? I don't remember. I really don't care. Yeah. Unless it's the Kia Stinger, I don't care. Yeah. Oh my god. Dude.
Before my power!
Whoa! It's already trash. That's funny. Oh my god, I see red flashing, it ain't good. Oh my god! Oh no! Help!
Just as I
Like and subscribe. Oh my god.
witness your anger and despair! You never had a future.
Damn.
Gahoon! Accept this offering of blood.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Please be. Can I be friends with you? But I don't have any talents or traits. That's cool. No, that's why. That's why I want to be friends with you. That's awesome.
I, Gammon, will save us.
Wait, I am so confused. You met Resky at Anthrocon. Or MFF. Same shit. Different place. But you hugged him and said the thing, so he knew who you were. But he didn't like message you later that day and be like, yo, let's hang out. Like, that's what I would do. I'm like, okay, I'm in first year right now, so I can't message you. Or maybe I'm busy doing something with other people. But like later in the night, I'll be like, yo, let's hang out, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was expecting. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, I hate that feeling. When you're the third wheel, it's like the sickest feeling I've ever had. Yeah, that's the worst. It's all like, dude, if I saw you like for the first time ever, dude, I'll be like, oh my fucking god, it's fucking Warehouse, holy shit. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's over. I mean, come on. Everyone says hi. Even if I don't know a stranger, I can go up to them and be like, hey! And they'll be like, hey! I don't know. That just sounds weird. That sounds... Oof. Oof. Are you going to MFF this year? Okay. What month is it in? This is the start of the Sakura. Maybe. Very light, maybe. Yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry. That's it. Yeah, I lost track of the game after... When was it that we lost talk? It was kind of like... Yeah, we all started kind of splitting. Like, it was... That 360 was our golden era. That will forever be my golden console. Like, nothing's gonna beat the 360 days. And even now, I'm kind of sad because it's like, yeah, we're talking now, but it's still not like the 360 days where we were both kids and we're like, the most important thing we have is school and Xbox. Yeah, exactly. Everyone was just like, school and Xbox. Nobody was like, hey, we got so much work we gotta do. Damn. So. Bye. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, college is the next step. Yeah, same with me. It was just kind of like after work started, it was just kind of like gone. I mean, I had the local. Hold on a second. I had like the local group going, but it wasn't that strong, to be honest. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, can I help you? You going to bed? We got something to eat. Then. Cook some garlic bread. Okay. Can you cook some garlic bread for me then? Whatever. Let's see. Yeah, everyone else is stopped. We had the Australian Yeah, I noticed that too. He still talks to Ramen Wolf though. I don't know what that thing is going on. That they're still like, apparently I've heard they're still like buddies, like hardcore. And I was like, good for them. But I'm like, where did that one come from? It's fine, whatever. You know, oh god, what's the English one? Hemi Husky? I don't know. Same, yeah. I convinced him to get a Volvo. We were talking about Volvos. That's the last time I remember. And then he got a suit, and then it was just kind of like, bye. It feels like every time someone gets a suit, they ascend to Poppy first status. Whatever, God tier. They can't talk to us plebs anymore. Yeah, it's a literal ascension. It's like, oh shit, did you hear? What? Oh, have you got a suit? Oh fuck, is that why I haven't talked to him in a while? He went to heaven? Everyone! Yeah, which is making me scared of getting a suit, because I still want to be humble. I don't want to be that guy. But... me neither, like... Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. It's... I hope I'm not. I think the thought that I'm more scared of being that guy is making me more reassured that I'm not gonna be that guy. Yeah, I'm scared of being that guy. I do not want to be. If I ever do be that guy, please call me out on like freaking Telegram or something and say, hey, fuck boy. Yeah, do that. Say, hey, fuck boy, get back down to earth. Come back down to earth or some shit like that. And then I'll read him like, oh shit, he sent that because I said for him to send that.
Empire, right here.
I give you full permission. I give you full permission.
Come again.
Which I doubt it will, but if it does, wake me up. Wake me up. Wake me up inside. Can't wake up. Yeah, that scares me. But I don't know. I never felt like I was ever a like, oh, I'm better than you because I have this thing now and you don't. When it's just stupid things. It's like I like people because who they are, not because what they have. I mean, to be honest, being human is like, yeah, we might be attracted to stuff people have. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I see somebody with a Countach, it's like, oh shit, that's fucking cool as fuck. But I'm not gonna be like, if that guy's an asshole to me, I'm not gonna try to still suck his dick. I'm like, oh, he has a cool car, but too bad he's an asshole. Like people get too caught up in like what you have versus what your personality is. Yeah, that's the sad thing. I'm trying to find a cool car to modify. I know Dakota. I give him slack because he is a hard worker. That's the reason why he doesn't talk a lot. I still talk to him. Like if I text him, he'll still text back. Like he hasn't gone. He's just gone in the sense of he kind of grew up. That's the only slack I'll give him. Is like, yeah, he did kind of grow out of the furry fandom. Which it does suck, but you know, I'd rather have someone grow out of something than become a dick in it. Like it feels more like, hey, that just sounds like something that you wanted, and I'm happy for you. Like you want to grow up and become more of a mechanic in your like career. Good for you. Exactly. Well, Rusky, he didn't really work for that. I'm gonna call it out right now. You know, all that was like family stuff, right? It is, yeah. I've talked to him privately. Like, I think it might be a little more than you have. Oh yeah, when we were playing Xbox, I knew him. I think I knew him first, or you did. I think he messaged me, and then we talked. Yeah, okay, because he told me that like he was already kind of wealthy, and like his first job was a job that gave him like $50,000 or $60,000 a year. Yeah, without going to college or anything. So I was like, okay, I don't diss people for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diss him for where he grew up, but it's just kind of giving you an example of where he's coming from. Like he was born into he wasn't rich, but he's kind of either high middle or low high class. So money was not a problem for getting fursuits and good jobs. And his dad is the one that convinced one of his friends to get him his first job.
Which lower do you?
So of course his dad's friend owned a company. I forgot what it was. It was like some metal company. Yeah, basically, it's like it happens to some people. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people just born lucky. I could have been one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like upper middle class. But my parents was like, oh hey, you know how we have like $1.something million? And I was like, yeah, that's not yours. None of it is yours, actually. And you're gonna be working for every penny you ever had. And I'm like, oh, okay. Starting from the bottom, even though I don't have to. Okay, thanks. That's fine. I'm not dissing anyone for that. Nice. Yeah, you're the last child? Yeah, you're gonna get spoiled, man. Use it, man. Oh my god. Hell yeah, boy. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, my sister's the same way. She's kind of getting spoiled now. Good. Oh, thank God, stay here. Oh my God. Okay. So you want to like permanently move there, or? Okay. Okay. Yeah, their politics are kind of Yeah, it's not too pretty, and they're Democrats. So, well, sorry, I don't know what you vote for. Sorry, I'm guessing Republican or Libertarian. Oh, okay, I'll go away. Oh yeah, same. Okay. Me too.
Skulks nearby. Eliminate it before it can disrupt our plans.
Yeah, my boyfriend was about to buy his first one at the gun show, but he decided to go mountain biking instead, which is fun. No. I'm like, if I had to say anything, I'm like right-leaning libertarian. So like, I like the ideas of free economy and like do what you want. Yeah, I hate sides. They all like. Yeah, same. Exactly. Exactly. Like my thought is they both want the good for humanity, but they both see it going. They both see going by it in different ways, and I just hate this cutthroat society we have now against each side. That's like, you're evil. No, you're evil, and I'm in the middle. Like, no, no, you guys are both not evil. You guys just want the same thing, but in a different way. Like, can we see that? Like, yeah, I want more free economy so I can make a business. But at the same time, I want to be able to be with my lover who I want to be. Or do what I want. Like... Oh, there's a ton here too in Virginia. Oh my god! But there's like such a mix. It's so funny because we're in Northern Virginia. There's like I'm part of the Gun Furs group here, and really great group by the way. Like one of the best groups I ever joined recently. Which is funny because it's different from the other group that I was a part of, which was like just a generic Nova Furs group, which was full of like lefties. And it was so toxic. And it's funny because they're the ones that always spout out that we're the racists and we're the evil ones. And then they're the ones that want us to get our heads chopped off and shit like that, which I've actually read in the chat. And then... Yeah.
Do you need protection? Zandala.
Exactly. Oh, we stand for freedom. Oh, cool. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, so we should get rid of the First Amendment. Wait, what? Why? Why? Because it hurts people's feelings. It's like you don't have to listen to the people that hurt your feelings. You know that, right? You don't have to stay there and take it. You could just be like, okay, fuck you, bye. Oh, some people. It's exactly. It's so funny because I've been to places where like little events in the furry community here where like I'm just gonna say it, they're left versus right, gun furs and stuff like conservatives versus lefty liberals. In my head, because we're all pre-programmed from this fucking news bullshit, when I went to like a liberal meetup, which I'm not saying it's for libs, it's just like generally most of them are liberal. I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna be more free there because they love like you being you and stuff. So I show up as a car guy, basically wearing car guy shirts and stuff like that, and a car hat. And then they look at me with like snarkiness or stuff like that, right? And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like no one talks to me, anything. And you later go find out, oh, it's because no one likes that you like cars. Why? Because cars ruin the planet or some bullshit or some shit like that. Yeah, or some shit like that. You go to a freaking Gunfur meet or like a Republican meet, dude, you can fucking come with fucking like a dress and rainbow hair, and they'll be like, okay. Like, as long as you're not pushing pronouns and like yelling at people, you're gonna be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, alright. I got a story for you for that one.
These dwarf things.
Oh, dude. So this guy that Lucas met, like on chat, like to hang out, he says that he was into airsofting and like loves the war, like stuff like that, like you guys, like he has the patches and all that stuff. I don't know much about airsoft, but it looks like very like, oh, cool. So he likes like that war kind of shit. That's awesome. So we go hang out with him in real life, and we're talking and stuff like that. And I bring up the airsoft thing because, of course, that's like on his like main page. And I'm like, oh, cool, let's talk about airsoft. We talk about airsoft and talk about different little things about it. And I'm like, neat, neat, neat. And then I bring up like, oh, he has one in his car, and he goes to show me it, right? And it's I forgot what it. No, it was Jesus Christ, I can talk. M16 basically AR, right? And I'm like, hey, this looks like just like my AR-15 at home. And he's all like, oh, you have a gun? And I'm like, yeah, no, you have guns, right? Like, I'm thinking like, yeah, no shit, like, you play around with these fake guns and glorify them all day. You have one? He's like, no, I would never. It was all like, I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? He's all like, I was in the where the Boston bombing was, and since then, I would scoff at that kind of stuff. Like, basically like that. Like looking down at me because I own guns. And I was like, oh, okay, that's alright. Now this guy, that reminded me of that guy. I was all like, whoa, you like airsoft, but you think guns are bad? Like, I bet you hurt more people. I bet you hurt more people with that freaking airsoft gun than I've ever with mine. I'm like, whoa, contradiction much. It's just like the people I freaking talk to online when we play like PUBG or stuff, and they're from like different countries, and they love the guns and stuff in PUBG, and they'll talk about them all day. But then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go shoot that gun this weekend. And they're like, oh, why?
That was a proper.
We will see.
I don't see it. But jeez. Yeah, freaking rapist. You don't have to prove you're innocent. You don't have to prove you're guilty. We prove that you're innocent. Dude, you imagine that system? Oh my god. Prove you're innocent. Like I was listening about. Do you listen to Louder Crowder at all? It's pretty funny sometimes. But he had this segment called "Change My Mind."
What do you ask of these underlying?
And this one was rape culture doesn't exist. Changed my mind. And he was at a college campus. Oh my god. And then like one guy came up to him and was all like, oh yeah, so when a girl comes up to you and says that she was raped, you're just not gonna believe her? And then he was all like, no, I'm not. Okay, that's not my thing. I would be concerned and wonder what happened. It's not like I'm just gonna ignore it. But the thing is, I'm not gonna just go and try to get the guy arrested immediately. Like just because she said. He's all like, well, shouldn't you think we should always, what was it? Always believe the victim. Oh my god! Always believe the victim. Oh my god! Did you imagine that? I could go around like, I don't like that guy. I'm gonna accuse him of raping me. Oh, he's in jail now. Oi, did you rape this girl? No. Well, prove that you didn't. What? What? That's why we need live streaming 24/7 on your body. With the cops, yeah. Sad that we have to get to this point. Oh, you know what's funny? Ever since... Right? Oh my god, that's so sexist and racist. Oh yeah, there was a thing about that. Not in Dallas, but... Oh. Sorry. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, what? No, they didn't! He sniped on them! And are you guys not watching the tons of videos I saw of when the shooting was happening? Of cops protecting black civilians? Wow. Have we gotten to that bad of a time? Jesus.
It is time.
That's ridiculous.
Ascend the steps of Zanchul.
This fucking identity politics bullshit is getting ridiculous.
Zandala will endure. May God
Man. Damn. And it's sad that this is all preventable. Like, it's all this narrative bullshit that they're being fed, that they're just believing, and then they get wild up into bullshit and then start this shit, and then they blame and then it goes into a circle of blame. It's like a spiral, you know? It's like, hey, cops are racist. Why are cops racist? Because they hate black people. And then there'll be a dumb fake unarmed shooting. I shouldn't say fake because they are unarmed, they got shot, but it's not just like, oh, out of the blue, like a cop just saw him, is like, you know what, I feel like shooting a black guy today. No, it's like, there's more context to that, boy. Yeah, what was it? The highest shootings are white on white. And then, higher than that, there's more black on black shootings than everything else. Like, not just cops, I'm talking about, like, in general. Like, Blacks are shooting blacks more than anyone else, and no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about the freaking the crime rates in black communities. And then when we do talk about it, the black communities always point to cops or white people. And it's like, okay, that's not what we're talking about. It sounds so racist, but I'm just talking facts. It's sad when your whole community turns on each other, kills each other, and then what do? Point at the whitey. It's Whitey's fault. Why is it Whitey's fault? Because I don't want to be blamed for it. Yes. It's just sad. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
Speak your business. I am sworn to be.
I'll shit you not, I almost got so pissed off at one of my friends on Facebook that I wanted to kick his ass. Because he said there was a shooting that happened in Florida a while ago. And it killed like a cop or two. I forgot who exactly. I think a cop either got injured or killed. I know it's at least one cop. But anyway, sad. I post something about it saying like who the criminal was. Like hey, find this guy, this motherfucker, right? The guy responded with, I don't see that as a bad thing. A dead cop's a good cop. And I was like, I feel like going to your house and killing you right now. Like, that's how angry you got me, because my uncle's a cop. Like, what? The person that wants to protect you is good to be dead? How would you feel if it was your kid, or your cousin, or your mom or dad? Like, I would wish nothing like that on anyone. Not even my worst enemy. I would wish a freaking dead family member. And these people are praising it. It's like sickening. Oh, but going on to funny matters again of those kind of politics, of their what's it called, oxymoronic talk. They're the same people that would say, "Oh, first you don't need guns. Why? Because you don't." And then second, they'll be like, "Oh, what was it? What was it? Hold on. You don't need guns. They want to get rid of your guns." But then they're the same ones that cry that the government's corrupt, or like they don't trust police officers, and it's like, motherfuckers, you don't trust the cops, but you want them to take your guns? Like, pick one. I would half understand if you picked a side, please. Oh, Trump's a fascist. KKK USA. 1/3 of America is a Nazi. Okay. Oh, but we need you to get rid of your guns and give them to the government that we call a fascist. Excuse me? Oh, and also the government that I think is corrupt. We need to expand that. We need to make that bigger. But you just said the government's corrupt. Yes. But you want to make it bigger. Also yes. Excuse me? Is this a joke? Where's the candy cameras? Like, I will bring that up to people, and then they just resort to, that's just something a Nazi would say. What? You guys are the ones that sound like Nazis, if anything. I'm pretty sure a Nazi would want bigger government with no guns or no rights. Chinese. Ooh, is kind of like a secret message. Are you Chinese? Oh. Wow. I don't know what you said. Oh. Is that Mandarin? Or is that, okay. I'm actually want to learn Chinese. I don't know why. I've been watching this guy on YouTube. Serpent ZA. Yeah, that's what I heard. But Serpent ZA said you could learn Chinese talking not too hard. The text is harder. But he said he would actually recommend you learning the text and writing first. Because once you click everything together, like once everything clicks with that, talking it and like writing sentences and stuff will just like come naturally. Well, that's what he said, so I don't know, but... Where'd you learn it from? College? Oh, high school? Oh. Huh. Yeah, right? Oh, it is. Oh my god. But any language, really.
Pity that menace couldn't have been turned into a weapon against our enemies.
I know my parents would get so mad if I learned Chinese before Spanish. It does seem more interesting. Oh, that's cool. Oh my gosh. No. Hey, whatever it takes to learn it, I guess. Exactly. That's the best way to learn, is with comedy and fun.
Give my regards to the throne.
Wow. $300. Me too. Oops. Exactly. What time you work?
I am listening. Go carefully.
Oh, weird. How does that work? I was saying, like, how does doing all that stuff work? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Nice. Uh-huh. Damn.
My knives are ready. We will finish this.
That's not too bad. Wish I had that here, man. So my day's off. I think I'm gonna head to bed. Whoa, wow. Why? Oh my god, really? Whoa. Oh, I thought it was just like, hey, get this done by today. And if you have enough time, come back and get some more.
Zandala will endure.
Yeah. What? That's such bullshit. That's Amazon bullshit. That's like Amazon, man. Oh, you get striked for that? What the fuck? That's some garbage.
They say you have the air of the throne.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. Technically, that's late. That's some bullshit. Well, how many strikes until you're out? Well...